Thank you, Professor Aloysius. Because we have one of the 21st century very famous American philosophers, John Searle. When he was talking about consciousness, like as Professor Searle rightly pointed out, we have to give up the binaries. The moment you take up the binaries, it's a never-ending process and it's a vicious circle. Instead of solving the problem, you are going to come out with more and more problems. Anyhow, this is my personal view. I do agree with Professor Sridhar when he gave those remarks and concluding remarks of his session. Now I request my friend and colleague, Professor R.P. Singh, to give his reflections on the theme.
Thank you very much, Professor Srinivas. And at the outset, in fact, when this theme was conceived on Ambedkar's philosophy in the ICPR, we thought that the time for an idea has come, and nobody is there to stop it. And let us go ahead with this kind of a thing. And the general apprehension was that how to work out Ambedkar at the level of philosophy, creating contestations which philosophers can argue for or against. And we can see that there are enough such issues which are very much inherently there. And the theme of the seminar is State and Freedom, Ambedkar's perspective. The perspective itself is a very important one, because there is an element of skepticism, suspicion which Ambedkar had. There is a phenomenological understanding of the society, looking at the very marginalized people of the society, and deep phenomenological intentionality is involved into it, to grasp it, understand it, and communicate it. There is a dialectics, because they have to see the binaries, the opposed forces which are operating, and how to elevate it to the level of emancipation and everything else. There is a method of analysis also involved in his analysis of the caste, analysis of the religion, society as a whole, democracy, and everything else. So we find that Ambedkar himself is an embodiment of all the philosophical methods: the skepticism, phenomenology, analysis, dialectics, hermeneutics. Everything can be found in one way or another. It's so comprehensive and elaborate. The other issue was very much, the way Dr. Kishore Kumar has thought about it, about the freedom. If you have a rational understanding of the society and you are conscious of that rationality, that means rationality and consciousness is equal to freedom, because then you will act accordingly in order to overcome the constraints. And this kind of a insight was deeply embedded in the post-enlightenment phase, though issues started with the Enlightenment only, because in early 19th century Europe, they gave rise to the Enlightenment rationality in terms of freedom, autonomy, sovereignty, public and the private, tolerance, rights, etc. They all came up. And in Europe only they thought of these ideas, and then they thought that with the economic mode of production, these ideas will go to everywhere else, Asia, Africa, Latin America. And they were all successful about it. But I am reminded of Arnold Toynbee's book, A Study of History in 1924. He had said that somewhere around 1850 to 1875, European modernity came to an end, because the kind of grand narratives they had floated was not effective. Schopenhauer had raised the question against it, Nietzsche raised it, and later on, post-structuralists, they all started dominating, interrogating that kind of a thing. In India, we find that Ambedkar was the first one to have raised this kind of a question, to address the issues of the minorities, which, in fact, Gandhi, Vivekananda, Tagore, they all had it, but they wanted to address the issue within the civilizational or the grand narratives of Indian philosophy or Indian ethos. So that way we find that this issue is also very pertinent. And in the 3 days seminar, we all have seen so many things. There are many ways to elevate Ambedkar. You don't have to elevate. In fact, he is there philosophically. But generally, from Western philosophical perspective, we generally think that look, Hölderlin was not a philosopher, but Heidegger made him a philosopher. Heraclitus was virtually unknown. Hegel made him a philosopher. Likewise, Herder, Kant made him, substantively developed, and later on. So there are many ways that it can be done. But since the paucity of the time, I would like to take up one issue and then I will stop. And that is the issue of, something which is called untouchability. Very briefly, I'll take it up. In philosophy, we generally study, 5 sense organs. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, etc., etc. There are so many philosophers sitting here. Can you just tell me which one is the most fundamental sense organ? Anybody can just respond quickly. Yeah. Yes, touch, skin. Skin is the most fundamental. We come out of mother's womb with the skin only. If something happens or anything happens to our body, it is apparently seen on the skin. Doctors, they touch the skin. Mothers, they touch the skin only to see which one is wrong where. Eyes become yellow if there is some problem. Tongue becomes a different color. The skin changes everywhere. Touch is the fundamental. And if the whole class, there is a class of humanity which cannot be touched at all, we can see what a philosophical crime it is. Because you being philosophers and taking into account touch as the most fundamental, sense organ, and then you are very cleverly saying that don't touch these people, so that you are just immune to all kinds of sensibility of the whole community. That's why untouchability is such a fundamental thing. I have also talked in a presentation that I got touched. We are deeply touched. If you lose the sensibility of touch, then I believe that you are no longer even human. With these words, I thank you very much. And I congratulate Dr. Keshav Kumar to have created a atmosphere.
Thank you, Professor R.P. Singh, for your quick philosophical reflections on the theme. Now I request Professor Chandrasekhar Rao to say something. Chandrasekhar Rao.
Mr. Chair, ladies and gentlemen, actually it's my privilege to be here again. Keshav just asked me a few minutes back to be on the dais. He told me not to. He just asked me, you just tell how you felt in this conference. So I'll do that. I'll not go into the philosophical aspects because we heard it enough. Now, this is a real privilege. I found a mechanism here in this particular department which works so powerfully under certain leaders. Good. It gives me a real confidence that yes, our students are doing something very good elsewhere. Keshav Kumar, I should appreciate you, I should congratulate you for all this effort that you have been doing. I have been seeing this man running like a billy. Ghumta hai na? It just runs everywhere and try to protect everything, and he was trying to take care of all of us, and the way meticulously he has brought in the whole thing, and the students who are volunteers who are behind him, I must salute you guys. Really, I must appreciate your enthusiasm in making this seminar success. I think he made me to be here to represent University of Hyderabad, which has brought in a big contingent here, and I took these beautiful flowers from your department on behalf of all of us who are from Hyderabad. I wish that this kind of seminars should be held more often and with much more vigor, and you have done the best possible within the limits that you have. And I'm doubly benefited by hearing the madam here because I heard about her, but I never heard her personally, and wonderful to be here. Thanks once again.
Thank you, sir, for your compliments. We wish that we would be having many more seminars of this kind, and we'll see to that more time is going to be provided to the speakers, and because sometimes it's such a bad exercise on the part of the what you call chairperson to restrain the speakers to limit to certain minutes, and certain things are not in my hands. I'm very sorry if I curtailed the freedom of some individuals. It is not deliberate, it's something forced on me. Thank you very much for being with us, for your advices. We take your advices very seriously, and we do go ahead with these kinds of seminars in the future. Thank you.
No, thank you all the delegates for all over the way came here to Pondicherry University, and Thirumalan, who agreed for this thing, is a busy schedule, just for the courtesy sake, and we thought that is a compulsion. We put him as a compulsion to come here, but we dragged him to this kind of academic discourse, and we made it a very successful one, very meaningful, and the way he spoke, and more than academic, he is reflected, and also Madam Sivagami. Thankful to her the way, even though it is my daughter is reminding me there, when will you provide the food from the audience? Really, literally, she's doing like the same expression others also had. I know this very well, but however, I'm very particularly thankful to all my research scholars and students, Jagan, Vijay, Venkat, and Vail Murugan, and Balaji, Purushottam, Tunso, and many women scholars there and who are sitting there, and really everybody is involved in this thing, more than the students' involvement in my department. I seen this thing, mostly my teachers, my colleagues, without having any kind of issues, they themselves voluntarily involved. They worked. I thank Thomas, Srinivas, Santa Kumari, and Indira. This is the first time I'm seeing such a commitment. The commitment they involved in this program. They thought that we should work together on this point, where guests came outside. We should share on the point where that is what I'm really thankful to them. And university provided a very particular Professor J.K. Tarin is encouraging me for university. We thought that ICP are given only 2 lakh. I thought that how to organize, even though it is travel comes nearly more than 1.5 lakh it is there, and all, how to hold 3 days and all. At this time, I didn't ask the money. Vice Chancellor, why don't you take from the university? I told. With pleasure, I said, yes, definitely, sir. Then they provided nearly 1 lakh. We are thankful to university. More than that, you might have seen the inaugural functions, the appreciation of the Vice Chancellor. He thought that philosophy seminars, he said, I don't want to come. Not because of it is there. It's no audience will be there. Why should the point to come here? That is any bureaucrats, they have this kind of mindset and all. When the people are not there, why should waste our time? And then he is very much surprised. This kind of people, even without even telling, and they themselves, when Thirumalan and other people are coming, we didn't put anything more than the public, they themselves involved. That is very interesting. Generally, universities and people, they used to for arm propaganda and mobilization, they will do it. But the public students and the surroundings of the villages and all, they themselves put the poster. They themselves share the money. I don't know how much money they spend. The digital level, many play cards are putting, inviting the Thirumalan and other success of the seminar. Really thankful to them once again. And also for 2 days, these 2 halls, the Jain Auditorium and this hall, and the friends who are maintaining from the engineering section, from the 9 o'clock to till the end, they are sitting here. We are thankful to them. And many people who are my office staff, Ramesh and Kannan, and in fact we have to give felicitation to our Kannan, but in fact as he thought that the kind of, we feel that so happy, he thought that people like Thirumalan is coming, he feels that is elevated in this, really feel some zone of pleasure is there, and all. Let us share this thing, joy with this larger public by this thing, and really we are thankful to Kannan and Ramesh who took the responsibility of TV and DIM, and all the students and faculty from the very particularly my rapporteur Sankita and our friends. I forgot the names of them, people from sociology and some of the research scholars and from other departments. Many people actively involved, and really we are thankful to everybody. Thank you all.